Good. So let's enjoy the music before we get started full time. Thank you, everyone, for coming on board.
We making money this year. We making money this year. No matter what them do, this be better this year. This year, this year, this year.
Asa wasile, asa wasayo, asa wasigogo nkan, teyan fi láyọ̀.
Asa wasile,
asa wasayo, asa wasigogo nkan, teyan fi láyọ̀.
my graduation this year.
Ayaya.
My promotion this year.
This year, this year, this year.
My freedom this year. Getting married this year. This year.
This year, this year.
Abi malemo, kole malemo, roko moko. Àlàáfíà tó pé, tó pé nílé mi. If you believe, say
Amen, amen, amen. Amen, amen, amen.
ọdún yẹn.
Asa wasile, asa wasayo, asa wasigogo nkan, teyan fi láyọ̀.
Aṣọ
Wasile, asa wasayo, asa wasigogo nkan, teyan fi láyọ̀.
we making
Money
money
this year, no matter what they do, this be better this year. This year, this year, this year.
good morning this year.
Ah, plenty money this year. This year, this year. No more loss.
Endorsement this year.
Yes,
House for me
this year. This year, this year, this.
This one, all the cars sweet.
All the qua
The
sweets.
music is sweet. Andre,
ẹkún ayọ̀,
Nílé mi,
ẹ̀rín ayọ̀,
nílé wa,
gbogbo ayọ̀,
nílé wa.
ọ̀run ayọ̀, nílé gbogbo wa. Say, if you believe, say
Amen, amen, amen. Amen, amen, amen.
ọdún yìí.
Asan wasile, asan wasayo, asan wasigogo nkan, teyan fi láyọ̀.
Aṣọ wa sílẹ̀,
Asan wasayo,
aṣọ wa sí gbogbo nǹkan.
teyan fi láyọ̀. All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's been wonderful music there. The whole meaning of it, some of those, additional lyrics added to it that probably some of us may not understand the local dialect about it. It's a this year we be a blessed year for us that we'll make money, we graduate, we build houses, we married, we do a lot of things, and they say if you believe, just say amen to it, and they say it's highly spiritual. And so it's about mindset. It starts from your mindset, and you want to make a lot of money, and it just starts from you. And of course, I know you are here this afternoon and morning, wherever you're connected from. Yesterday, we had a very fruitful training and interactions. And of course, today promises to be great. And of course, if you were not here yesterday, you miss a lot. And today, we're going to be doing summary of what we did yesterday. And of course, switching into actions. We have some of our tools, refresh, renew interface of some of our tools. And of course, we've been doing a lot of upgrade maintenance to switch into something big going to happen in 2023. And so please, you are privileged and you are opportune to be online and on board. We want you to take as sweet, as fast as, Ross action so that you can benefit. Now, the hallmark of this is we want to share with us and show people who cares to be attentive and be teachable how to leverage an opportunity and build wealth that transgenerational, wealth that can change things and turn things around, first to the degree, and not just a mouth-making wealth, but building transgenerational wealth. Now, you're welcome to this training, and we call it 2023 Financial Explosion Game Plan. Now, we want everybody to set what's your game plan, what's your strategy, what have you put in place? And I must say, we're very sincere with us, people find it difficult in 2022, but of course, a lot of people made money. Millionaires will emerge in 2022, so it doesn't matter. And I kept to say this, there is no permanent thing here on earth. Failure is not permanent. Success is not permanent. Understand this fact. Failure is not permanent. Success is not permanent. So it depends on your, motive and expectations and experience. And of course, acceptance. Do you accept to have been a failure, or you accept to be a success? So even in the midst of failure, if you have a mindset that I'm a success, then you will always produce success. And then if you agree that you're a failure, definitely. And what I've learned from, many years in this space, digital space, money-making system, money manipulation strategy, I've discovered that nothing is permanent, and the best is to be intentional at all time. And your bull run may be at the bear market. And other people bear market may be at the bull run. So don't have it that until the year 2025. You got to start right now. And I can tell you, some projects are going to mesmerize you, but if you are smart enough to look inward, you're going to make insane money while people are lamenting and crying that nothing is working. So ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome for this training, and it's going to be explosive and real indeed explosive. So please, you're here. I would love us to be attentive. Switch off, whatever could have capacity of distracting you on this training, get them tracked off. So the next you need to do is to bring out your pen and your notepad. And if you're using your system for a pad, not your phone for a pad, but your system for a pad, I'll beg you to pick out that pad out now and get ready for action. So my name is Midas Jimo. I'm the team leader of Plan B Express. I'm going to till the ground and expose you to why we are here. And before we have, some of our able, passionate leaders in the house that will put the ice on the cake for us to be able to get to the same direction. So please, you still have your friend out there, get them invited. We know that's a festive season, but what we know is this. Everyone got bill to pay. So a lot of people now have been enjoying themselves in the festive season. And January comes, have to settle with a lot of bills, and you have to settle with so many bills that even unwanted bills, because this is the time you're going to be called a wicked man, because a friend is going to ask you for children's school fees. And in fact, this is the time to call you that your son is being chased out of school. And you begin to wonder, how many sons do you have? And so, of course, you're going to have adopted sons. And if you fail to respond to them, you are going to be named a very wicked friend or a very wicked brother or uncle or whatever. So, but that's not the purpose of here, but it's part of it as an instrument for us to get important. So, roadmap to creating sustainable wealth 2023 with Plan B Express. Now, very, very, very importantly, wealth is built, money is made. So what's your roadmap? And for the first thing we tell ourselves in Plan B is that a roadmap is 5 years to financial freedom via digital asset accumulations. So 5 years to financial freedom. So we want to achieve financial freedom, but we know achieving financial freedom is not just a mouth talk. It's an action. It's not just a threat, but it's an action. So building wealth and to achieve financial freedom, we first to tilling the ground and achieving the apex of it, you have to consciously work on yourself and every needed things at least the first 5 years. This 5 years is a year of dedication, it's a year of focus, it's a year of attention, it's a year of action. And of course, appreciating all the tools and leveraging on them. All right. So welcome to Plan B special business combo. We have this combo now, and these combos that we have just discovered a way to help you build wealth and residual income with our 360 formula. Now, we said yesterday that this formula will work if only you can attend to 7 legs, which probably maybe the pyramid of the world, which we call the 7 wonders of the world. First, success mindset. Number 2, no success is achieved without the mindset as the bedrock or the nucleus for it first. And the knowledge cannot be taken out. That's where you get exposed to what you need to know. And so knowledge of success is built on the mindset of a success. And implementing right actions is based on what you know. That's the holy book who said, for they who do know their God shall be strong and do exploit. So your action can produce result when you have the right knowledge. And then when the action comes, listen, when the action comes, when money is made or whatever, or you are implementing those actions, you're going to face a lot of challenges, risk management, what to face and all of that. Just like I mentioned yesterday, that people made money at the bull run, but do not know how to manage it in the bear market. So the bull run will give you the money and the bear market will collect it. But I have a lot of people who it has been the scenario of their life since they've been in the online business, in the cryptocurrency, in Forex. Then the market go up very well, they are happy. When market come down, they are depressed. Why? Because the wrong application. So risk management, then building up a cash flow system. We have a platform in Plan B, we call it the cash flow system. We have a lot of things there, and then you leverage and then be able to make a lot of money. Then when we do that is go towards gathering a lot of equity. When you talk about equity, you're saying that your money, all the businesses you've done, you have been able to collate into what is your royalty that can even be leased or whatever. So equity beyond just a liquid cash or beyond just, maybe your personal house. No, equity that can serve your business continually and lead to what we call wealth, which is now transgenerational. So a wealth should be something that is, it has capacity of being passed through to the next generation. So there's difference between wealth and actually money. So we are connected to systems that can help you generate passive monthly income without you letting your money into the hands of third parties. Now, one of the first, frustration we had in the space of online, businesses and all of that is the fact that we do not know who to trust. We've had lots of platforms that people have lost crazy money just because, third party, promised them heaven on earth and eventually nothing worked out. So we've got a system connected with simple, very simplified, yet decentralized. So your money will be in your custody. Simply to say, you have your money in your bank account and we send some people on errand to be working on your money, but your money is in your stock. So just like you have a warehouse or for commodity market, and then you have some boys who go around selling and bringing the money back. And so that's the simple way it works. Then the whole essence of this plan is to help participants. If you do not understand why all this is to help participants make both passive and active genuine income. Now, yet diversified into different digital assets that will further boost their personal economy. Now, listen, we've discovered that most time, like myself, most time when I make signals and calls, trading calls for some people to buy this coin, I understood that some of them would just smile and said, he's just telling us to buy coin without asking us if we do have money. Now, you have really done the good thing, but the point is that it will not be appreciated because the people are incapacitated. So the whole essence of passive money is to be able to generate income that you can get involved in active system. And then spreading your tentacles would now help you. But we'll discover that it was cumbersome for people to build wealth when they do not have systems that are working for them. So in other words, we're now, from all these steps, you're able to have a system with us where we teach you money management skills. So managing your money is so important. If you do not know how to manage your money, it cannot turn to wealth. All right. So anybody can make money, but not many persons can actually build wealth. So build your safety net and then accumulating more wealth and then preserving wealth. And then, of course, it become a legacy for so many generations to come. So the question we ask is this: does your money actually work very hard as you work for it? So most time we work so much, just like people like right now. One of our friends told us sometime, he said, Nigerians are hardworking people, but Nigerians are the least people who go for vacation. That is, you work 360-degree, month 1 to month 12, yet things are not working well. Or even when you have the money, you cannot even enjoy the money. Why? Because your time is tied around the money you are looking for. We have seen that with the people in search of wealth, they've killed their health. So if you're not organized enough, and of course, you may make the money, but God forbid that the person is struggling health-wise, or the person is struggling emotionally, or the person is struggling, family-wise and all of that. Because in search of money, people have deserted their loved one, their family, their children, their wives, and then some wives have deserted their homes and their marriage at peak of collapsing just because of chasing for money. Some husband, their family at the verge of collapsing just because of searching for money. So you work so hard for money, but your money working hard for you. These are pondered things you should ponder about. So money can be made, but wealth is built. I've told us earlier, only people with the right mindset can sustain wealth for a long time. Like I use a practical example of the bull and the bear. So the bull, people make a lot of money. But in bear, they start crying. Then you ask yourself, and I remember I come from a village where we do a lot of farming, right? That's why I love farm, maybe. We do a lot of farming. And in the farming season, I observe this. And we farm yam very much in my place. And what do I observe? Within the communal, environment, during yam season, they have a lot of yam. If you go to my village, during rainy season, yam season, we have consistently, you see, families are just eating pounded yam every blessed day. So they will eat and eat, excess eating. But in the dry season, you will see the same group of people will be struggling to eat food. Some will have to battle with some cassava and all of that. So I began to ask myself, it is not enough to have. It is important to know how to multiply, to reproduce, just like what Joseph gave advice to, Pharaoh. And he told him, this is the interpretation of your dream. And so imagine if you don't have such strategy, such wisdom, then there will be bull market that give you a lot of money. When the bear market, you nearly run away because there is no strategic way of building wealth, right? The wealthy use things for wealth, but the average depends on money for survival. So it's all about strategy. Sabinos will tell you I'm an investor. Now, why do I say this? I have seen people around, they depend solely on that source of income called salary. So, and some even that don't even depend on salary, maybe where money is just coming from, they depend so much on money. And they thought that money is worth. And I do say this thing, that if all you need and all you use in your life, you spend money on them, you're not wealthy. So you got to learn how to leverage on things. And so it is when you begin to understand power of leverage, then you become more wealthier. No wealthy person don't appreciate leverage. They leverage a lot, and that's why they can build transgenerational wealth. So that's the path we're taking you guys to in 2023. All right. So the materiality of money only exists in the mind of the poor. How? I just use a bull market experience now. I imagine my villagers say during the yam season, because excess yam, they eat pounded yam so much, even when it's not necessary. They will eat in the morning, in the afternoon, in the midnight, right? Now, when it's no longer there, because that's the same thing. Some people who are so poor in their mind, so we're not talking about, because poverty is a relative terms. Now, who are so poor in their mind, the first millions they make is, man, this is high time. I need to build my own house. This is the time. Now, is it necessary for you to have your own house? Yes. But what is the time when, because bull run just happened and you scrape all the money and there is no cash flow again. You will be in that mansion and be struggling. And at that time, death is very fast because people will not even pity you. You know why? You are in a very big house, in a big mansion, and when you call somebody that, please, can you help me with 1,000 naira? He will look at you that you are mocking him. Meanwhile, you actually die. And then when you go out, they look at you, this big house, it should have enough money. And then those are the impressions we create for ourselves. We press people outside and depress ourselves. Does that mean it's not good to have? Now, if you read much about wealth, and maybe if you read Cash Flow Quadrant of Robert Kiyosaki, who's going to tell you how to turn your liability to asset. So we dwell more, a poor person, an average person, now worship liability as if those are the proof of wealth. No, most of us, aesthetics is what we see as proof of wealth, but that's not true. Now, what are aesthetics? When you see a person who is riding the best car, latest car, having this, the guy is wealthy, that's not true. That's just a sign of poverty. Does that mean good cars are not good? No one says that. But if your liability is more than your asset, then you are very, very in big trouble. That's a reality. So most people, the poor people, when they have money, instead to feed their wealth or asset, they feed their liability. So the more feeding they give to their liability, crunch into their asset, and eventually they come complaining. And that's why you can see somebody very handsome, nicely look good. He keeps selling his property one after the other. That's the mindset of a poor, because he's going to buy something that's not useful, which Robert Kiyosaki called up to him. He said, average people buy stuffs. They just go out to the market, buy this because the money is in their hands. So wrong mindset, we're going to correct that 2023. Presenting Plan B Special Business Combo is a 4-leg platform. Number one, we're showing to you, we've connected with the system, proven system that will deliver to you on a monthly basis, 20 to 35% monthly. That makes sense. And I told friends, I said, even if this system is delivering to you 10 to 15%, it's more than enough. But the good news is that it is decentralized. What do you mean? You connect with your own independent bank account, which we call broker or exchange, whatever, and then it's connected to the service activities of this. They do the dirty job for you, and then you make your money. It makes a lot of sense for us. You are in charge, you're in control of your fund. Anytime you're in need of money, you can always pick out money without any obstruction so far. Just like people celebrating their festive, they pick out their money irrespective of what's happening. So there is no time frame of when you should pick your money. That's why it's connected with this system, this tool, and it has been very awesome. And we know that this is going to help a lot of people on the challenge of 5 years to financial freedom. Then we have a lot of tools connected, passionate people to personnel that will take us to both a different market for full-time career traders. Those people want to okay, I really want to trade, but my problem have been, I do not even know where to start from. Congratulations, it's all for you. But please, we don't hype things. We take personal responsibility, and that's what we put people through. So, which you can record up to 2,000 to 5,000% in a year. Now, doing it by yourself. Now, you may be tempted to say, okay, if I can do it by myself to make 2,000 to 5,000% a year, why then do I need to do the passive one? The language say passive. So it means no matter how much you are making, then if you have a way to even generate additional 1%, that will be another percentage, not the one you've done. So, but it's to tell you that if you take personal responsibility too, you can make more. That's the reality. Then the third is the project diversification income. We show you, of course, we lift a lot of platforms or systems from our cash flow system on Plan B that you can diversify into. But listen, you cannot diversify when you do not make and when you do not prepare yourself and be able to always have what we call cash flow. All right. Then lastly, the leverage residual affiliate income. Most of the system, especially the first system that will deliver to us 20 to 35% monthly, has an affiliate system. I was saying yesterday quickly, I always love to describe what's the difference, what's affiliate system? Leveraging system. It's a connected economy, not an industrial economy. And a practical example we used that time was using it. Aliko Dangote, the richest man in Africa, compared with Mark Zuckerberg, which is the CEO of Facebook, and one make his money from connected economy, even though the people who are now doing the affiliate were not paid. So, but that's not his fault. He was able to feed you with what you wanted. And so, but he made his money in connected economy, while somebody made his own money in an industrial economy, which means somebody was about 67 years, which is like Nico Dangote at that time. And then the other counterpart was about 33 years old boy. And what happened? One at 67 years with effort and big, of course, we know when it has to do with that, it has to be people's money connected and all of that. Was net worth was $12 billion. And then the other counterpart of the 3 years old young chap was $56 billion as the net worth. So we understand that aspect, that the industry of affiliate residual system, if you are propagating the right thing, is a place where you can turn your weight around 360 degrees. Okay, so we have said the decentralized passive income, we've got a tool that will do 20 to 35% and is hands-free, and then the income is massive and not a Ponzi hype. Listen, failure is a man-made circumstance. It is never real until accepted by man as permanent. So it is what you put in your mind, oh, I failed, okay, become failure. Even when things are crashing, if you don't accept failure, there's a way you turn it around. I'm going to show to us a case study of 2 coins, and I will share to us, before the next person will take us on a ride on how to use all of these tools and all of that. Okay. Then the next is the career trader. So, okay, we'll say we guide you through basic crypto and FX personal trading that can further give you good winning rate of 2,000 to 5,000 portfolio growth per annum, with our best selected tools and personnel. So you can imagine now the first we're going to do with, as we're hitting into January, those of you who have started with the passive income, you're already connected, we check your account, then we take you on, because the first is that even the FX, our Dean of Forex will be taking us right on like 2 weeks back-to-back basic interactions. Very seriously committed people have to be there. And then within that same period, we onboard you on 90 days, challenge, productive challenge for that. Then we're going to do the crypto tool, and then all the necessary tools are going to be explained to us how they're going to help us. Both success and failure are a result of what we do occasionally or always. Like myself now, I love to do things that pays me. I always tell friends, outside God is money. If it's not making money, it doesn't make sense. So first God, the next is money. You may tell me, Felix, is that how, so you even place value on money than any other thing? No, God first, the next is money. When you say, well, the family is still placed inside God, because he is the one that gave us the assignment, okay? So, but the money, money is the root of all evil, and we call it, say, lack of money. They say love of money is the root of all evil. Then we say lack of money is the cause of all evil. So we must understand, if it's not making money, it's not making sense. Money makes things turn 360 degrees. Money stop nonsense. That's the truth. And result is actually what terminating. So you cannot prove to anyone, even your wife, that you love him without being able to spend on him. Then don't let us deceive you, even if you are the holiest of the holiest. Okay. Now, the last is the project diversification income. We have got good asset projects that you can accumulate and record 50 to 300% asset growth. When we talk about asset growth, it's different from just money growth. Asset growth means, okay, let me use, there's a project, there's a coin we bought sometime. I think it's a project now part of our cash flow system called Otron blockchain. We did the farming, and then they were paying the percentage. The percentage growth on the farming was the growth in the volume of the coin and not in the value. And eventually, the volume of the coin was growing, and at the same time, the price of the coin too was growing. So in the sense that the price of the coin moved from like 1 cent to 13 cents. That's a growth in the price, which is not the power of we doing anything. Now, the power of doing something is that if you bought 5,000 in Otron, the way to take it up to additional 50% of 2,500, making it 7,500 pieces, or eventually at the end of the year, if you have that 5,000, is there a way can take it up to 15,000 or 20,000, making additional 15,000 with your 5,000. So we do all of those things. So we spread tentacles to good low gems, as it were. Now, Otedola said something very profound. He said, we have lost millions. That's why we are billionaires. Now, listen, if you are not interested in losing millions, don't think you can be a billion. Not that we're telling you are going to lose the money, but there are chances whereby you lose money. Let me use an example. Something just happened a few days back. We have money, we have invested, people have made a lot of money, and their money is in a particular platform called Midas. And something happened, it's still ongoing now, and that money, has come down to like nothing. But in the same storm, some millionaires have emerged just between 3 days to today. But the point is that the people who have those money at that time, when they bought when it was $34, $33, now they are weeping. But the truth of the matter is that what should they do? Should kill themselves? That means they have accepted the failure. The best they should do is not to use today and lament of yesterday, is to use today and plan for tomorrow. Because if you use today to lament of yesterday, you are permanently shut the door for tomorrow. That's the truth. And that's why it tells you, we are billionaires because we have lost millions. So no one, if you're interested in making thousands, be ready to lose hundreds. And if you're ready to make millions, be ready to lose thousands. So just get that behind your mind. No, don't let anyone trick you and all of that. To make money, to really be wealthy, to become somebody is not a hit and run system. Great and effectual door open unto you, but there are many adversaries. So giant must be content with your movement unless you are just a non-entity. So an entity must be contended with because the capacity is known by the giant. All right. So money is not the amount you have in the bank, but the amount of leverage and system you've plugged into. So how many systems? What are you leveraging on? So that even if it's storm, you can still always be greener and greener. Now, lastly, the leverage residual affiliate income. We work together in a connected economy to build good residual income for effective money multiplications via the word of mouth system. Now, I keep saying this time without number. When I meet people, I say, I owe you responsibility of sharing opportunity with you. But listen, I don't owe you any responsibility of coercing you, of hyping you, of marketing you. When I share and you ask for more, I will say more. But first of all, I owe you the responsibility. I learned this on my own. Nobody taught me this. I just discovered that anything I am doing, I owe people to share with them. That's the joy of it. Now, why? To fulfill all righteousness. So a lot of people will tell me, no, I don't have time and all of that. But somebody somewhere somehow told you about something, right? I have learned my lesson through that. I have seen a lot of people, yes, good and fine. There are people you talk to and they feel too big. They got pride, we just kill them and say, no, I don't have time. But I've discovered that some persons, when you share with them, genuinely, they appreciate that God used you to talk to them. I want to tell you something, guys. My first time of making $500,000 in this industry was shared to me online by an unknown person, not from my country. And I've said this time with that number, I said, I've discovered that more productive populations of the world are on the internet, not the people you meet physically. Yes, fine. Other people you meet physically, fine. But there are persons who you people are working together physically now, but by the way, it may be through online system and all. So my first $500,000 I ever made in the industry was shared to me by an unknown person online. And later I became like family. My first $1 million in the internet system and all of that was still made through system shared to me by an unknown person, not even within my region, not even my continent. So I now appreciated the fact that anything that is good that you have, share with people. Let it be a decision for them. Because what I know is this, it is not the motivation. The readiness meet with opportunity. All right, so guys, welcome to abundance. Now, but before we go, we have a decision point here. With the number of people we have here, if we don't have good number of response that are ready for this thing, we will stop this presentation. I need to know how many of us on this call this afternoon, morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you're connected from, are ready for this 4 cardinal. But let me break it down. This 4 cardinal, number one, the passive income making about 20 to 35%. Minimum it requires about $700. I know why I say that. There are some that it requires, okay, maybe give and take. If you do your permutation, do like $500. But to start reasonable, minimum is $500. No maximum. You can do as much as possible. Of course, 1% of 100,000, you know how much it is. And 10% of $200, you know what it is. So it will take you that. Then we have the career building. All you do is to have the tool and the fund. We're saying you do not send it to anybody, not Felix, not anyone within our ecosystem. You will be in charge of your money. Ours is to take you through the journey, right? Then you have the project diversifications, and then you have the leverage residual. I always say this time without number. Even if it's very terrible with you that you cannot do anything, you should be able to start with number 1 and number 4. Why? As much as we have started with number 1, number 4 is free. And number 2 is to be what you can start, but you may say, oh, I do not have enough money. But I will always say, if you start with number 1, we give you like license for number 2, ordinarily. But this 4 cardinal area, nobody should see it as a challenge for him. It's a place everyone wants to be. So it's a privilege and an avenue for you to better your life. 2023 is too loaded than you can afford to just waste anyhow. So please, at this point in time, if you're ready for us to unveil and unwrap all these tools for you and you're on this call, make use of this chat box now and type 101. Everyone, we're 24 on this call. If I do not have at least worst case scenario, up to 15 people, we will not step further. So I want to have minimum of 15 people that say, that type 101 on the chat box before we can continue. And I'm going to count to 1 to 10. If from 1 to 10, and we do not have up to 15 people minimum that type 101, we will stop this meeting. So we have 1. We have 2. We have 3. We have 4. We have 5. We have 6. We have 7. We have 8. So let me quickly count and see how many of us said for that. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have 9, so we have 14 out of 24 people. No, we can't go. I need minimum of 15. If we're not 15, we will stop this training right now. We will stop the training right now. So we have 14, remaining at least 1 person to indicate that they are set to go for this. So we have 9, so we have just the last count, and what you will just see is that the host has ended this meeting. What you just see, that the host has ended this meeting. So I'm recounting again, 1, 2, 3. I'm counting the number of people as signifies 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I will check for double counting. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Finally, we got 15. Okay, we got 15 and we got 16. Congratulations, 10. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you've done noble, and I now know that some of you are ready to really take it up from here. Now, before I bring the next person is going to unveil to us all of those things, let me quickly share with you something very important. If you can see my screen, just type 111 on the chat box very quickly. If you can see my screen, type 111 on the chat box very quickly. If you see my screen, type 111 on the chat box if you can see my screen. I want to be sure that we are together. Thank you very much. Now, quickly, remember, this is 2023. Remember, this is 2023. We are stepping into the next few hours. We're getting to 2023, and the year has started and start running. That's one of the things I saw. Everything around it is by default. It just starts and it starts running. Now, I want to quickly show you something. In 2023, do this your business like this. I've been saying this, but I will keep repeating it. Maybe the more people hear, after that, say faith come by hearing and hearing by the word. Now, in 2023, do your business like this. Number one, you are prepare your platforms and then we are sharing with you. Your target is you want to build wealth and not to join issues with people, not to contest with people's destiny, not to strive with anyone. Your target is to make money and build wealth for your family, for your children, and to help your society. That's your goal. If that is your goal, face what will boost your goal and never be distracted with an irrelevant thing that will not add, a value to your goal. I beg everyone, I have learned this lesson for very long time, that I face the business, I face my business, I face what boosts my business and what give me money. Anything that is not building my business, I don't look at it. Now, going this way, as you start, when you make money, maybe in the crypto or whatever, always learn how to scoop back to where you are in charge. Like sometimes we always say in the crypto that not your private key, not your money. Now, always be attentive to time and season. Information are dropped, take advantage of it as snappy as possible. How does it really work? I want to use like this scissor as an example. We saw this coin, which some of us are members, we invested. But having invested, it was still expedient, right? It was still expedient for us to do something. Somebody is reading something. I want to use two things, Sisu token and this same Midas. You saw Midas, after the Higgy Haga on Midas went down to as low as 207. Okay? And even in other platform, it went below that. But let's pretend that on the 28th, when issues start happening, you even was able to buy Midas at 1 cent. So forget about this. Let's say you're able to buy at 1 cent. Now, to buy at 1 cent, let's say you have just $50 to buy at 1 cent. So divide by 0.01. That will give you 5,000 pieces. Right? Very quickly now, even right now, the price it is now, 5,000 pieces of the same coin is going to give you $1,600 from $50. You get it now? That's then. There are some persons who probably bought maybe yesterday or day before yesterday, and somebody was just telling me he bought at about maybe how many? Just few pieces, and was able to buy 100 pieces. And let's look at 100 pieces of this same, is it 100 or 1,000? Okay, 800 and something. Am I in order? Something like that. With 160, somebody bought at 16 cents. Okay, let's leave it at that. Now, I'm just doing practical things for us to know that when you start this year, be personal, be intentional, and of course, be ready to take risk. And that's why we want to build you with where you make passive income. So imagine you have a place where you have $5,000 or $1,000 or $2,000. Your passive income is coming like 20% and all of that. We're now showing you diversification. When opportunity like that comes, it is easy for you to take out $100 and buy coins like this. Then you get pumped, you sell, you have made your money. And you can return such money in bulk back. Imagine somebody who used $200 to buy, use $200 to buy at 1 cent, divide by 0.01. That fellow had bought 20,000 pieces of Midas, right? So 20,000 pieces of Midas, that would be $6,400 from $200. It is easy for you to take out $3,000 back to your passive income machine and it continue to work while you continue. The same thing happened on CZU, okay? Now, having the investment was running, CZU did that magic very crazily for how many days ago? And even up until now, in 7 days, still about 500%. Crazy, right? And in about 8 days, it's still about 1,438%, of which CZU did about 2,400% in 7 days. So, but what am I saying? When some of those things happen, Higgy had up and down, you take advantage of it. Okay, so you may want to take much attention to Midas, CZU. I'm not even talking about, I'm not inviting you to come and join the package and all of that. Some of us are having investment there, yet we're still taking advantage of it. So you may want to look at Midas, CZU, and XZEN. I expect some dump on it. I told us to monitor it. If you were monitoring it, there should also have been some dump on it. Yeah, there was some dump already. And then you can always follow up. You can see the dump now, but it pumped crazily from 0.0001 thereabout. Let me quickly look back. So I've called 3 coins now. Now you have responsibility. So before we move to the next thing, so let's look at it. XEN. Good. Can you see? Can you see? I know some of you who are traders, the Dean of Forest now have looked at this thing with corner eye, say, wow, shooting star. Oh, and he's already calling a lot of things in his mind now. Now, even if it will still dump a little, then I can be ladder buying right now. I'm not telling you to buy, it's your choice anyway. So, but I can be ladder buying now. And then imagine even if I ladder buy right now, and it could get to, so you do not need to, I always tell people, learn how to leverage. Let's say I buy from here now, and then eventually, if you get back here, I can do 58% honorably without struggle. But let's say you didn't get there and it stopped somewhere here, I'll begin to have a lot of resistance, as it were. I can still do 40%. So give and take, if I buy this coin today, maybe in the next few days, I could do up to 20 to 30% on spot, as simple as possible. So ladies and gentlemen, I've come to the end of this section. And now that we're ready to be unveiled, I'm going to be using a time to invite somebody. So please, you are here. It's high time you settle down and be personal by yourself. Don't ever become victim of someone's ideology. I'm saying this, not even Felix, but be careful of people you listen to who's going to tell you this is a shit coin. What you need is the money. And shit coin can shit anything. Understand this. So don't listen unnecessarily to people who are over professional, who are too conventional. You are here to build wealth. It's a nice time talking with us. And before you start asking questions, I'm going to invite somebody. So it's a nice session, and I'm sure value was gotten